Howdy, folks. Today we're looking at Batman 612 in Facsimile from 2003 in DC Comics. And finally, after all that build-up, the main event, Batman vs. Superman for at least a few pages. Honestly, the fight is better than I remembered, consisting as it does of a few pages of desperate improvisation on Batman's part. Can Batman beat Superman in a random fistfight? Clearly no. But can Batman keep Superman busy for the few moments it would take for the Man of Steel to break Poison Ivy's mind control? That seems frankly a more realistic goal, and so here we see Batman pull out all the stops, including the famous kryptonite ring, the entirety of the Metropolis electrical grid, and Catwoman threatening to throw Lois Lane off a flagpole in order to grind the battle down to something more manageable. It's not often you'll hear me give Jeph Loeb a free compliment, so take note. The idea that Batman could distract a drugged Superman long enough for him to shake Ivy's whammy actually does pass the smell test a little better than I remembered. With that said, it's still a whole issue devoted to a pointless fight, 5 issues into what was framed as a sprawling mystery. We're still stuck running in circles, although Ivy is finally fingered here by the timely intercession of Crypto the Superdog, the one man in Metropolis immune to her charms. Speaking of fingering Ivy, the next issue promises an appearance from none other than Harley Quinn, still relatively new to the DCU proper in 2003, following her introduction during 1999's No Man's Land. In hindsight, Hush reads less like a classic mystery and more like the kind of J.J. Abrams mystery box storytelling that proved so popular in the period. The story does not hinge on careful clues arranged by a canny author, but rather a nest of red herrings squirming around in every which direction, all to get some kind of rise out of the reader, with the actual solution less an ironclad Agatha Christie deduction and more simply the unfolding of an unnecessarily complicated master plot whose solution was both baldly telegraphed and inherently unguessable. You don't get any points for figuring out Hush's identity, but you also can't logically suss out the purpose of his machinations until the very end. As a mystery, Hush is both obvious and unintelligible. It works on precisely one level, as an excuse to let Jim Lee go to town drawing the whole kit and caboodle. You get the feeling if it were actually a better story, they would have probably sent it back for revisions.